Oh man, even worse news for Trippie, and he has not been on a very hot run lately. We all know it, especially with a Love Letter to You 5 sales being like what, 32k, pushing like going back into the underground numbers. Although I think he can still come back, but like this is just more ammo for the haters to say that he fell off. So basically, Trippie Redd, for the A Love Letter to You 5 album, he was going on tour called Take Me Away or something like that. It was the special guest, or the opener, sorry. The opener was gonna be Lucky, and he was going nationwide, I believe, if I recall correctly. I don't think it was international, but regardless, a lot of these tour dates are getting canceled, as you can see by that red big button right there, and except for like 2 dates, but I believe since those are both California, and like it's at the end-ish of the tour dates, those will get canceled as well. And people are speculating as to why he has to cancel these dates. And so allegedly he was sick. I'm not saying these are the reasons, I'm just building up some anticipation here. Allegedly he was sick and did not go to some European festival dates or tour dates, something like that, so he canceled those. However, I don't know if you can be sick or even like predict that you're gonna be sick for another couple of months. Like this starts in September and ends all the way at the end of October, it looks like, or early October. So if he's canceling even these tour dates at the end, it probably means that he's just not selling them pretty well. Like there's a bunch of seats there, maybe too big of arenas or stadiums or just venues. Similar situation to a lot of rappers nowadays. I just feel like rap right now is getting shit on. A lot of big media personalities are saying like hip hop's dying, or there's like documentaries on YouTube about it. And we even researched it where there was a market share of 28% of the entirety of music listeners. So hip hop encompassed more than a quarter of streams for music listeners, which is pretty good. However, it went down to 26% or something like that from 2022. And country and I believe Afrobeat, like Latin music, I guess. Are those two different? I'm not completely sure. I guess they're interrelated in a way. But those were going up like significantly, like almost doubling from their previous years for streams. And so maybe there is something going on. Like people don't necessarily want to go to tours anymore, or maybe it's because we're in a recession, people don't got enough money anymore, whereas before, like maybe it's the pandemic, people don't want to get sick. But I feel like people don't care about that anymore. Or maybe it's just like singular acts, because Travis Scott definitely sung well. I would think Cardi was, but again, he might have had a similar situation with all those available seats for the Antagonist tour. So maybe that's why he ended up postponing them, so that people didn't get an inkling that like of news like this, where if it was the same thing where he was canceling tour dates like completely, people would start asking questions if he was starting to fall off. But I really doubt it. It could just be for that album, but we have no idea. But as I was saying, like this already happened to Moneybagg Yo, Lil Baby, who else? A bunch of rappers, let's just say, who maybe were big, like really big, mainstream a few years ago, but now, like as I said before, with Trippie Redd, he only ended up selling like 32k for A Love Letter to You 5. So if there isn't really demand for streaming the music, which is the most easy task that a fan can do, just go on their phone and press Spotify or Apple Music or even YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever. But if you can't get them to do that, then how are you going to get them to pay for a, say, $200 ticket? And I think that's why music festivals, or maybe music festivals, are the reason that tours are going downhill, because we already see all these rappers every time we go to Rolling Loud or Wireless Fest or whatever. I don't even know the names of these things, but since you see every single rapper, you have no need, unless you're like a super fan, which is really only like 1 to 5% in general for artists that are buying those tickets. So it could be just the festivals. Because why would I pay $200 just to see 2 artists and maybe some openers that I don't know, when I can go to a festival and see like 30 rappers over 3 days and pay like double the price, where I got 100x the value, and a bunch more people, my friends who like different rappers, are gonna be there. Like, it just makes sense. You get paid less though, so this is really screwing over artists. But it also could just be because, again, like, Trippie isn't at his peak popularity. Someone in the comments, like, I know this is a dick move, but somebody said, like, who asked for a tour? I'm not gonna lie, after a Love Letter to You 5, I don't think, like, it might be too soon to start touring. Like, you need a great album, in my opinion, to go on a tour. Because if people aren't streaming it, as we talked about before, like, what makes you think that they're gonna go watch it live? Or, again, throw money instead of just a Spotify subscription. Or you can even listen to music for free by downloading it or just going on SoundCloud, YouTube. But overall, and I'm not trying to say that hip hop is dying, because I don't, although it might be regressing, or at least we're in like a dead period or a lull while we're waiting on the next generation of rappers to pick up for some of the falling of irrelevance of some of the past generation. Because if you think about it, a lot of the popular rappers now came out in 2016, 17, 18. Right? And now those are the OGs. Whereas we don't really have many new guys coming out who are taking over, except for like Yeet and maybe some TikTok rappers. But like, I don't feel like they have very stable fan bases. But this could just be an indication that like no rapper can really tour now. Because how many times have we heard this rapper is canceling a bunch of events or a bunch of tour dates? And who is really having any successful tours now except for the festivals? Really just Drake, The Weeknd. He's not even a rapper. Lil Baby kinda, but he was canceling tour dates as well. Travis Scott, Cardi, maybe Uzi, but we haven't seen what's gonna go down with him. Like, nobody's really had a successful tour except for Drake recently. And we don't even know what's gonna go on with Travis because of the whole Astrofest situation, where they might try and cancel him there too. So it's really just the big acts. So if these smaller type B level rappers, I want to say, like maybe Trippie or I can't even think on the top of my head, but if they want to go on tour, you low-key have to go underground with it and go to a warehouse with like 1,000 to 3,000 venue, maybe even less, 1,500. If you have to sell out and get less money, but like pack it out, it's good for social media. Like, you can run up the marketing where you increase the venue size at every single tour date. At least you got to factor in how big that city is too, because if you go to like Wyoming or something, that's probably going to be less people there as opposed to Ohio, where I think Trippie Redd is from. But regardless, I just feel like too many people got too big, and maybe it was just because the music industry was so inflated with fake streams or just fake social media engagement. Yes, a lot of people were going on tours the past couple years, or like maybe in the first SoundCloud generation, but they were way more talented. A lot of the talented rappers passed away, RIP Juice and X and Peep and Mac Miller and whatnot. But like, too many rappers just think that they can sell out big ass arenas. Even if you bring an opener, bro, it's just not happening. You have to bring out a bunch of people, like a whole clan, or just get a smaller venue so that you can actually guarantee throwing the event and selling out. Because if you throw all these, or you schedule them and then you have to cancel them, it honestly makes you lose money from whatever the promotional company trying to sell it. They probably have like an upfront fee in some way, and then it's bad publicity for you. And in addition to that, I actually think that a lot of rappers price themselves for booking way too high, because I guess it's almost like first week sales in a way. Like, there's like a threshold where people kind of give a W or L. Let's say it's like 75K. Like a mid-tier, somewhat successful rapper hit that number, and then everyone around him said, okay, that's the number to beat so that we can remain popping, or like it shows that we are an A-list rapper. But same thing with touring and the booking fees. Like, somebody started charging 50K for a show and doing like five song performances, and then all of a sudden everybody starts upcharging the shit and being like, I'm charging 100K, I'm charging 200K. And it's like, at a certain point, these promoting companies are not even gonna make money off you, as we've seen right here with potentially not enough tickets being sold. And then if you're only going on like 2 city tour dates, you're just gonna cancel the whole thing, because why go on a whole tour if it's just gonna be 2 dates? That's not even a tour, bro. That's just you going to a show. You're performing like twice. So people are gonna start realizing that these rappers may not actually be worth as much as they wanted out of the booking price, and just not book them at all. So we might not even have any tours coming in the future, or at least not from any of the rappers who are not A-list rappers that can pack out stadiums/arenas. Or you have to just go with a bunch of rappers, like 10 people on a lineup, kind of like a mini festival or a festival, for people to actually buy tickets at a decent price. But the game's fucked up right now. Everybody getting canceled, at least their tours. What do y'all think's going on?